Well, as E3 starts today, I'm sure we're going to get our hands and ears on some very new games very shortly. But one of these games is the recently announced Imperator Rome, the newest game in the Paradox arsenal, and my, does it look awesome. But today I'm going to be going through the latest developer blog for the game, and yeah, I'm sorry it's a bit late. I've been busy eating and stuff, you know how it is. So welcome to the map of Imperator Rome. The start of this developer blog is talking about how it's the biggest and most detailed map over any of their previous games, but have still taken the time to make sure that they are balancing playstyles. This is, for example, getting maybe a different but still equally enjoyable and interesting game whether you're playing as a small state or even a vast empire. Whilst in the previous games there were provinces splitting up the map into factions and areas, now the smallest part of the map is called a city, which in itself holds a city, of course, or a village or metropolis, the population, and it can also produce goods, additionally being able to hold a few buildings in there as well. Now, here's where the provinces come back in. A so-called province is a group of cities, all belonging to the same country. Now, this can range from about 10 to 12 cities. Now, of course, in previous games, they had the provinces as each individual part of the map, the smallest part of the map. Now, those provinces are renamed and called cities, and then the provinces are now 12 or 10 cities. So, there's sort of different scaling in this newer game since it's such a bigger map. But how big is the map really compared to other Paradox games? And now it sometimes helps to have some sort of size comparison, if you know what I mean. So the developers have put this together for us. So the developer blog takes Sicily as an example. In EU2 it had 2 provinces. CK2 had 5 provinces in Sicily, EU4 had 3 provinces, and Hearts of Iron 4 had 9 provinces in Sicily. Now here's where it gets a little bit mental. Imperator Rome is introducing 23 cities, which remember are the same size as provinces, so it's basically 23 previous provinces from previous games are now in Sicily, which is absolutely insane. Now there's also 4 impassable mountain ranges in there as well, which is going to create a whole new dynamic to military campaigns, how you're going to be able to attack from different directions, which I'm excited to see when they go into more of the military blogs. But furthermore, what is it with this? This is absolutely insane, the size that they're going for, and this insane scale that they're going for is, like I said, they are trying to keep the gameplay interesting and driving. I do hope that this vast size does not overpower the gameplay in this aspect, because it can kind of make or break a game. Well, here we have a nice cheeky screenshot, which is always nice to see, so you can feast your eyes on that bit a little. Now, some of the various regions of note in the map are Britain, which of course was made up a pretty decent part of the Roman conquest, and definitely a big part of the trade from the Bronze Age even up to the Iron Age as well, so this is going to contribute quite a bit to your gameplay. But of course, before the Roman invasion of Britain, there weren't really any or too many documents, unless it's numerical or archaeological evidence that was found before. There isn't much that we know about Britain before the Roman invasion, so it's off a lot of stuff that Caesar wrote about what he thought it was like, what they're going through, and some of the evidence that has been found in Britain. So before the Roman invasion, it's going to be very much an intelligent interpretation of what Britain's going to be like, of course. Now furthermore, southern Scandinavia is also going to be in there, placing us in the migration period of the original Germanic tribes from modern day Scandinavia into the northern and central Germany, which I think is going to be very interesting, as I feel it's going to play a lot into the conflicts between moving tribes and already settled regions and provinces around the time. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic to the military campaigns once again, like I mentioned previously. Of course, there's going to be a vast amount of provinces and cities in there, but others of note are India and Ethiopia. Now the team over at Imperator Rome have definitely made it clear and shown us how much time and research that they are putting into this game in terms of looking at sources, archaeological evidence and everything, and trying to make up the most accurate representation possible. On top of that, they have said that it's necessary for the gameplay that they want to take some creative liberties, because a completely realistic game is boring as hell, and especially something like this, in the time period that they're going to change it a little bit in order to keep this vast map from feeling, well, vast. They don't want it to be so big that it feels completely barren and there's nothing to do, so taking some of these liberties in order to fill up some of the spaces of the map in Imperator Rome and keeping it interesting for the player. But that's pretty much it for this week's developer diary. I think the next one comes out on Monday, so that one should be up pretty quick on my channel. I'll try and make a video on that as soon as it comes out and stop being late, because I'm an absolute bastard. But it's E3, guys. I can't wait to see what stuff is coming on E3, and make sure you stick around the channel for some updates on all the news that's coming out. But until then, I will see you in the next one.